You know, I still remember that morning like it was yesterday. The sharp crack of glass shattering pulled me right out of my coffee haze, mug halfway to my lips. Heart suddenly pounding like I'd just run a mile, I rushed out to the porch barefoot. And there they were, Margaret and Susan, these two overbearing sisters who'd made it their mission to rule the neighborhood, swinging axes at my brand new solar panels like they were chopping firewood for a bonfire they hated. Shards everywhere, sparkling in the sun like some twisted art installation, and me just standing there yelling, "What the hell are you doing to my stuff?" But Margaret just turns, flashes this smug grin under her flowy sundress, and shouts back, enforcing community standards, "Honey, your eyesore panels didn't get our approval." While Susan grunts and slams her axe down again, another grand gone in a split second. It all started when I moved into Willow Creek Meadows, this quiet suburban spot with leafy streets and houses spaced just right for a bit of breathing room. I'd saved up, bought the place cash through a buddy in renewables, and thought, finally, some peace after years of city noise. But peace? Nah, not with those two running the HOA like their personal kingdom, Margaret as president, Susan her right-hand enforcer, both built like linebackers with attitudes to match, always overdressed in pastels and passive-aggressive smiles. They cornered me at the mailboxes my first week, Margaret leaning in too close, saying, "We value our aesthetic harmony here, Alex. Those shiny black panels on your roof, they clash with the vibe." And me, trying to stay cool, replying, "Got all the permits, ladies, and my lot's just outside your jurisdiction per county lines." But oh, that lit a fire. They saw it as a challenge to their power. You see, these sisters, who'd clawed their way to control after some old family grudge with the original developers, convinced anyone bucking the rules was out to undermine their little empire built on fines and fear. The harassment kicked in fast, letters about my lawn being a quarter-inch too tall, a fine for my recycling bin peeking out too long, even a demand to take down this quirky wind chime because it disturbed the auditory uniformity, whatever that means. I'd ignore them, but then Susan slaps up a camera aimed straight at my door, catching every move like I was some criminal mastermind. I sent a polite note back, got a violation slip with my face photoshopped onto it. Hilarious, if it wasn't so creepy. Deep down, I knew it wasn't just about rules. It was personal, them resenting how my off-grid setup symbolized independence from the grid they manipulated, siphoning extra power for their perks while slapping fees on everyone else to cover it. I showed up to one HOA meeting in their rickety trailer, tried explaining the zoning redraw from years back that put my property free and clear. But Margaret cuts me off mid-sentence, eyes narrowing, "We interpret the boundaries our way, sweetheart." End of discussion. And Susan chimes in with a huff, "You're not special here." That night, staring at the ceiling, I felt this knot in my gut, not just anger, but a quiet resolve bubbling up. This wasn't petty anymore. It was war on my autonomy. And ignoring it wouldn't cut it. But the real gut punch came that shattering morning, axes flying, my $50,000 solar dream in ruins. And those two board members, Mr. Thompson and Mr. Ramirez, just lounging against the trailer in their crisp suits, arms crossed, saying zilch, like they were spectators at a demolition derby they secretly funded. I call the cops, voice shaking, point out the trespassing, the vandalism, but the officer shrugs it off as civil HOA stuff, tells Margaret, "Ma'am, you got authorization." And she bats her lashes, emergency board directive. These pose a glare hazard to drivers. Hazard, my ass. They were threatened by my self-sufficiency, worried it would inspire others to opt out of their rigged system. As they saunter off, axes dangling like trophies, I crouch amid the wreckage, glass cutting my palms a bit, and something snaps inside. Not rage, but clarity. Why the silent watchers? Why the overkill? It hit me, they thought they owned everything, including the power lines. But maybe, just maybe, they didn't. That night, I didn't sleep, hunched over my laptop in the dim light, coffee going cold, digging through dusty PDFs of land deeds and energy packs from 2 decades back, my mind racing like an engine revving. Turns out, back when Willow Creek was built, the developers leased grid rights to this defunct outfit called Horizon Energy Corporation to save bucks, including backup substations for the whole hood, an odd setup, but there it was. And get this, my company, Eco Power Solutions, had scooped up those assets in a bulk by months earlier. Legacy junk, mostly. But bam, that substation the HOA paraded as theirs. Mine, lock and key. Heart thumping, I cross-checked maps, contracts. Yep. Their trailer, their cameras, all tied to my nodes. They didn't know, these sisters strutting around like queens, but I'd accidentally inherited their throne. Next morning, surveying the mess, this calm washes over me, not vengeance yet, but leverage, sweet and sharp. Susan rolls up in her SUV, window down, barking, fines are doubling retroactively, clean up your act, and I just smile, say, might want to verify who controls your electricity before you bark orders. She blinks, confused, drives off fuming. I rope in my old pal Jake from city planning over lunch, burgers dripping, him listening wide-eyed as I spill it all. Dude, he whistles, you're holding the plug to their whole operation. And if they're rerouting power like you suspect, that's theft. We pull data, spot the spikes. Late-night surges from their trailer, dodging peak rates while neighbors paid full. Thieves in florals, man. I gear up, sensors on my lines, logging every watt, footage compiled of their axe party, Susan planting hate signs like eco-freak in my yard, Margaret yelling at my mailman for aiding non-compliance. Edited it tight, 2 minutes of damning truth. Then I strike, flip the switch remotely, killing their AC and servers at midnight, watching from my window as Margaret paces in the dark, yelling into her phone, fix it now, you idiot. Petty, maybe, but justified after their smash fest. Post the video online, captioned, when HOA bullies pick the wrong fight. Views explode, 10K, 50K, comments like, Karen Apocalypse, and, Sue M. Blind. Reporters call, neighbors whisper support. The sisters panic. Susan storms my drive, sweat-soaked, screeching, you've crippled us. People are suffering. I deadpan, check your inbox. Maintenance, per my contracts. Margaret follows, voice cracking, we'll vote you out, but I step close, whisper, you vandalized, harassed, stole, and I've got proof. You're unraveling yourselves. They retreat to Thompson and Ramirez, who look like deer in headlights, now their complicity exposed. The climax hits when I cut the backup grid wide, neighborhood dark, fridges silent, air thick with tension. Emergency meeting in the park gazebo, Margaret ranting about overriding private grids, but midway, my hidden solar speaker blares the video audio, axe crashes echoing, her own words, we control everything here. Gasps ripple, phones out, recording. Petition flies, 30 signatures demanding their ouster, group chats buzzing with, had power grab fail. I file suits, send evidence to zoning, journalists, class action brewing over misused funds, fake fines. Court day, judge watches the footage, shakes her head at Margaret's gleeful swings, rules my way fast, damages cover panels, plus extra. Sisters fine 20K for siphoned energy, leadership stripped, their trailer unplugged for good. I rebuild, bigger, add a plaque, fueled by justice. Neighborhood heals. I help folks with backups, explain fair grids, even decline board invites. I wanted freedom, not rule. But here's the thing that lingers, was it all worth it, flipping the script so hard? Sure, peace reigns now, kids play freely, no more signs or shouts. And the video hit 5 million, sparking stories from HOA victims everywhere. Yet sometimes, I spot their SUV creeping by, windows dark, them staring like ghosts of control lost. Makes you wonder if revenge breeds more resentment or if standing up was the only way to break the cycle. What do you think? Did I go too far, or was it pure karma? Drop a comment below. Share your own neighborhood nightmare or if you'd have handled it differently. Love hearing your takes. And hey, smash that